If you find yourself alone, riding in the green fields with the sun on your face, do not be troubled. For you are in Elysium, and you're already dead! Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Zareth Prevails. We're going to talk about 26 teams to rule them alt. This is for my alternate account, which is also known as Professor X, and I've been stuck in KYBER 2 for a couple seasons, which is fine. We only have one Galactic Legend, and I am the only person I have ever faced on that in KYBER 2. Well, I shouldn't say ever, there's been one or two at the beginning, but most people with only one Galactic Legend don't survive. I happen to be someone who does, and I keep growing my GP out, and we're very close to getting a second Galactic Legend, and I'm getting Maul, all both in the same like week-ish span. So we'll have extra tools to deal with all these other Galactic Legends, and I mean, I've been facing people with 4 and 5 and even 6 and beating them, and I would say on a semi-consistent basis. Like I said, we've kind of been treading water as everyone's, rising and falling and everything, and the matches are getting, I don't know, they're not getting that much tougher. There's more Galactic Legends, more and more. And so, how do I do it is the question. A lot of people ask me that. And, I mean, I put all my streams out there. I'm actually releasing one later today. You guys can check that out. And I'm also, just for reference, I'm also going to be putting out a video for my Prevail Man account, which is he got into Erodium at 3.5 million. And I've been struggling. Maybe it was even 3.4 million. It's a struggle in Erodium, but he's been also, I think the Prevail Man ended up with a winning record in Erodium last season. So stay tuned for that video. That'll be about 2 or 3 hours released after this one is, just like we did for the core teams videos the day previous to this. So anyways, I have 26 teams that I want to talk about here, guys. We're going to do them all in one shot. I don't think it can be under 20 minutes, though I would love to. And so what am I doing at 6.6 million? And how am I adapting to the current ridiculous situation in KYBER? Probably need to do something on fleets as well at some point, but that's not what we're going to be talking about right now. So let's actually jump into the game, and I'll show you guys the teams. Whoa, we're looking at the teams. I totally saw that coming. Madness. All right, guys. So we've got right off the bat. I'll show you my Galactic Legend. I know I caught a lot of flack last time with my last videos. People were like, "I don't like this video. It has Galactic Legends in it." And I'm like, well, as we continue to progress through the game, it's less and less practical for me to make a video with my alt or with my main account without showing my Galactic Legend and the way I'm kind of situating them. And so I'm going to show them on this account as well, though I only have one right now. We'll have Kenobi here in a week or so. We won't have him for week 1 of this next season, but we'll have him for week 2 for sure. Same with Maul, I believe. Anyways, so Jedi Master Luke and then Jedi Revan. These are the two comps that I've been using. I beat Supreme Leader Kylo comps pretty regularly with this Jedi Knight Revan comp here on the bottom. It works pretty well. Sometimes you have to clean it up because, the relic levels are all really low. And that's something that you guys will notice on this account is I don't have many relic levels on the account at all. Jedi Master Luke kind of has the leftovers a little bit, and that's fine. This team will beat Rey, I believe. This is how you situate it to beat Supreme Leader Kylo on the bottom and Rey up top. You can resituate them if you want to be able to beat Jedi Master Kenobi. These guys combined will be able to beat any Galactic Legend out there except for maybe Sith Eternal, and even him sometimes if you get the right rolls, if it's the right comp and everything. So yeah, this team, this is the way I situate them, guys. Jedi Revan, typically, if people, the thing is, if people actually look at who they're facing, they usually load their teams, or their zones, with a ton of Galactic Legends, and then try to beat me with their other teams, which sometimes means that they can't even clear half the board, because I put a strong defense down. But it's really important to have the flexibility of these two Jedi teams to be able to adapt to whatever you're facing, so that your Jedi Master Luke can kill one Galactic Galactic Legend, and then the other team, the other Jedi squad, can probably not kill a Galactic Legend, maybe maim them pretty good though, or just take down a team like General Grievous, something like that. So that's what those two teams are, that you just mix and match. And then I have a ton of other Jedi teams as well, such as this Qui-Gon team. And so, I mean, I don't know what we're doing with Mace right now. He's kind of in an awkward place. I put all his Zetas on him, and he's only Relic 3. He's really good plug and play on a lot of different accounts. The thing with the Qui-Gon team is you really want to have all Galactic Republic, because Jedi Knight Anakin is Galactic Republic. Well, obviously he is, but he also does extra damage based off of if everyone on his team is Galactic Republic. He's an exclusivist. He's an elitist. His next attack deals 100% more damage if all allies were Galactic Republic at the start of the battle. So if you had somehow contrived in GAC to summon something weird onto your team that isn't Galactic Legend or Galactic Republic, then Anakin doesn't care. He just cares about who started with him, which is interesting. But anyways, we've got Ayla here just as support as well. We've got Plo Koon, and then Mace could go on a Jedi Revan team or Jedi Master Luke. He's good. I need to put relics on him, but really he's not that far behind all these other teams either. So right now he's on Qui-Gon. I don't think he's going to stay there, but just keep in mind he's good on most Jedi teams. And honestly, he'll probably end up on my Jedi Master Kenobi team once I have him unlocked. So we have all... So there's this little exclamation mark is showing us the squad inconsistencies that, you know, like we're double dipping on a couple of these units, and that's fine. In my I'm only double dipping to show you guys what's going to be happening. So here's the thing. Padmé is kind of a placeholder in a way for Jedi Master Kenobi. Eventually we'll get Kenobi here, and then she'll go away. She'll go on a different squad that is below, and I'll show you guys that. That's the same with Ayla and Plo. Those two will actually go with Padmé. So I'm going to show you guys that squad, that Padmé squad, and then Jedi Master Kenobi is going to be here. C-3PO, in turn, is going to end up just on this Commander Luke team. He'll be back in his home. And the reason we have this Padmé squad allocated the way she currently is this squad, I've used it multiple times now. This squad, even with these low relics, kills Jedi Master Kenobi pretty consistently, guys. I mean, the really high relic Kenobi teams probably do too much damage and overwhelm the lower relics, but with Commander Ahsoka Tano helping with boosting all of our health, and then Padmé also giving 50% extra health, like you doubled everyone's health, and then C-3PO gives all the bonus protection and everything. General Kenobi makes it so that they can't, well, he's usually dead because their cat kills you. But then, you know, everyone here does some really good work against Jedi Master Kenobi, and honestly, that's something we can probably continue to do every once in a while on this account. The problem is I don't have time to scout, and so trying to come up with some weird convoluted squads where I can have Padmé, you know, with C-3PO, and then what am I doing with Jedi Master Kenobi if I don't have Cat available for Kenobi? Would probably end up using Kenobi to counter like Supreme Leader Kylo or something like that on offense, but then we need Ki-Adi-Mundi, and Ki-Adi-Mundi is probably part of my Jedi Master Luke squad, and Jedi Master Luke probably has to come up with some kind of way to compensate for that. And so you can see like the shuffling that occurs for trying to plan some of these really high-end GAC things is really complicated, and I don't have time to plan for that. So probably gonna end up with a more stock team with Jedi Master Kenobi lead, and then probably throw Mace here instead of C-3PO. That way we have a double taunt, and that can kind of Mace can kind of mess up. He can kind of mace up the opposition's ability to, you know, double tap if they want to use like bounty hunters or whatever. Not that any of my opponents are really that sophisticated enough to snipe out my cat and then finish me off with Bad Batch or the General Skywalker team. But one way or another, yeah, this Jedi, I don't know, Jedi Master Kenobi is going to probably end up in this place, and then Padmé will have a different spot. Okay, I've probably gone over that enough. Commander Luke, I don't know, he's going on defense quite a bit. You probably want more relics on him than this, because Chupio passes out stats based off of Luke's stats, and so therefore the whole team is boosted when you put relics onto Luke, and so it's just tough. I mean, I would love to get Relic 7 on Chewie and Han as well, and I would love to get Relic 7 on Chupio, though I haven't even done that on my main, so probably a long time coming for you, Chupio. Sorry, bud. Sorry, bud. Not so sorry to you, 3PO. You can stay away from me. I don't know. This team has been doing good work on defense and on offense. You can put Cat on the team, actually, and make them, if they hit hard enough, if your opponent has a paper-thin enough Hux, you can kind of kill a Supreme Leader Kylo team. Actually, if you snipe out their Hux, you can do it. It's kind of a mess. If you don't kill their Hux, then you're just killed instantly. But if you snipe out their Hux, you start gaining turn meter. Like you can run the tables on the team. Not that works all the time, but you can do some damage to most Galactic Legends with this comp. It's also pretty soon. Hopefully, I'll be able to start splitting this team up a little bit here and there as well. So Jedi. And you guys will see those splits. You guys can see some of the stuff that I'm doing on my main account with Han and Chewie right now. So, anyways, General Skywalker and the 501st, good on defense, great on offense as well. They kill some Galactic Legends. If Jedi Master Kenobi is stupid enough not to have Cat, and he's on defense anyways, General Skywalker and company will one-shot the Kenobi team almost every single time, especially if there's Grand Master Yoda there. Remember, they do really well against teams with a lot of buffs, because every time a buff goes away, or maybe it's just every time a buff is generated, let's see, then the entire team boost themselves when an enemy gains a buff. Yeah, okay, so when it gains a buff, Nest is when the buff goes away, or a status effect goes away. All 501st allies gain 2% offense stacking until the end of the encounter. That includes General Skywalker, and so as Yoda's like, hey, I got these 9 buffs, does everyone want another copy of them? General Skywalker's like, yes, please, that sounds great. That sounds neat. Let's just keep doing that, please, Yoda. And Yoda's like, okay, I'll do that, I will. And General Skywalker's like, dead you will be, a-hole. So, anyways, the team's really good on offense. But you also, it ends up on defense for me quite a bit, because I need something to hold my opponents back, especially if they're placing all their GLs. The General Skywalker suddenly becomes a really, really strong tool in my arsenal. I just have to be wise about it and put him in a place that isn't just one shot by like their Commander Luke or something like that. A lot of the people I'm facing, though, have really weird top-heavy rosters that don't have their CLS team worked up, and it makes me smile. Alright, there's this Hunter squad here, guys. The Bad Batch. You guys have seen me use them a lot on my alternate, I mean, on any of my accounts. I guess not on my Prevail Man account. We don't have them there. But you make Echo pretty fast. I mean, he's not transcendently fast. I do have one of his Gear 12 plus speeds, pieces of gear on him, but 317 speed. I mean, this is decent. This is decent. He's gonna outspeed a lot, but it's not world beating. But then the rest of the team is just not that great. Gear 10 on Tech, Wrecker, Omega, Hunter. As long as Echo's first and he can dispel enough debuffs to make Tech go next, then because he gives 5% turn meter to the whole team for every buff he dispels, then he gets to go. One of the best targets for this is a somewhat quick first order team. Even with crew lead gives 30 plus 30 speed. Keep that in mind when you're targeting teams. But if you can target them, then crew already has taunt, and then a lot of them already have their, depending on which first order team they have, a lot of the first order squads are going to start with advantage. And if Echo can go and just dispel that buff off of everyone, then the pre-taunt plus advantage on everyone, that's 30% turn meter on everyone. That means Tech doesn't need to be super fast. You probably throw a Zeta on him just to make him a little bit faster, but you just want to make sure that he can bridge to get to wherever Echo takes him. Remember, he's not 248, he's plus 16, plus I forget which one it is, guys. Yeah, plus 1 speed for each clone, trooper, ally, doubled for Bad Batch allies. So So he's plus 10 speed, I guess. So yeah, you want him to be fast enough to keep up with Echo. Once he gets the stun off, you guys can see how it works. I mean, I've done a faction essentials on these guys. This squad works. It punches way above their normal power, and I'm actually going to do a mini series here pretty soon about undergeared squads and how hard they can actually, how high they can punch upward. You don't want to try tackling any General Grievous teams with them probably, but they do a lot of good work. They're one of the teams one of the workhorse teams on my account that requires almost no gear. Pretty cool stuff. All right, now we have this squad that I just don't use that often anymore. I call them the Lob-distance though, because they're so lopsided. I have Relic 7 on Jedi Training Rey and R2-D2, and then I have gear 11 and even 10 on the Hero Bros, which is ridiculous. But because you get the turn meter train going with Jedi Training Rey and BB-8, you don't really need them that much higher to be able to take down some teams. I put them on defense a lot just because they can really mess with a person. A lot of times people use like their Commander Luke team to kill them. Then you hide General Skywalker in the back, and Commander Luke is like, oh shoot, I wish I hadn't killed that Lob-distance team. That's not cool. And and then there's much sadness. There's wailing and gnashing of teeth. It's wonderful. So one thing to note, of course, is that R2-D2 would love to go and join Padme down south. I think that's the team I have him on, double dipped. But you don't. I don't know. He's nice there for sure. There's no denying that. He's also really nice with Jedi Training Rey. Remember, the reason he is on the team, like he gives stat boosts and everything. He does all sorts of cool stuff, but he also goes really well with BB-8. Remember, BB-8 gives his whole team. He gives. Oh, look at this. I didn't want him to taunt, so I didn't give him that Omega. Don't give him the taunt, guys. That's pretty dumb. This one's pretty nice to have, but I just don't have enough spare. I know it looks like I can apply 10 Zetas, but I'm gonna apply 6 and another 3, so 6 plus 3 equals 9 on Maul and Jedi Master Kenobi here pretty dang soon. So those are all spoken for. Here's the thing, BB-8 also, however, yeah, I think it's this unique. No, it's not this unique. It's this one. He gives his whole team 8% turn meter. Droid allies gain to 8% turn meter for each active droid ally. So having R2-D2 on the team is a really nice thing for BB-8, just because BB-8 then gets 16% turn meter instead of 8, which makes him a lot faster and ups the chance for me to be able to go first. Next, we have General Grievous, and this squad can take down Starkiller. It's not really super high relic. Obviously, you guys can see Super Battle Droid would love to have more relics, but I just did a video saying you don't need to have super high gear on B2 to have them work. On some of the squads that really punch hard, you probably want it, but you don't absolutely need it. So this squad will take down a Commander Luke team. It's a very, very efficient squad, actually. At the end of the day, usually the teams that General Grievous is facing here, I'll end up losing like 2 or 3 banners, just because Grievous does hurt IG and B2, but then he doesn't hurt Newt, and he hurts B1 kind of, but only his stacks, and as long as B1 is still alive at the end of the fight, you get max health and protection banners for B1. And then Grievous is easy enough to keep it close to max health and protection until he dies, of course. And then as long as you can heal Newt after he dies the first time, then you don't really drop that many banners. It seems like in theory you're going to drop a ton, but and sometimes you do. Sometimes you frankly do, but that's the truth for all teams. This squad is very efficient, and it kills a lot of different things. Commander Luke teams, it kills. The thing that I love most about it is it punches up to be able to take down a lot of different Galactic Legend teams as well. And like Sith Eternal and Jedi Master Luke, he's probably the best answer that you have to him. You can also do some good work on Lord Vader teams, etc. This is a very good squad, and it punches way up. It kills Starkiller squads, at least a lot of the different configurations of Starkiller, and it just does some work. Next we have, I'd like to keep them for offense. They also get a ton of holds on defense as well. People just don't know what to do against a well-modded, it's not well-reliced, but it's a well-modded General Grievous squad. It is very good on defense as well. This trooper team strictly for offense, guys. And I mean, if there's a team that's more lopsided even than my Lob-distance, it's my troopers. You can see we have Veers and Range and Stark all at sub gear 12, and Stark and Range are both gear 9. Stark doesn't even have his Zeta, and it's a big mess. But then, of course, we have Admiral Piet at Relic 9 and Dark Trooper at Relic 2. That's probably enough. I would love to get him more relics, because obviously we want him to punch harder and everything, but he does okay. He does fine. He's just, I mean, the teams that we're attacking here, I'm typically not trying to take out like a Jedi Revan team. Or sorry, a Darth Revan team, or a Jedi Revan team for that matter. You need a fast Piet, and I don't want to spare Gideon. Gideon is a team that I really don't want to use. I don't want to use him with this team, because Piet's fast enough, 349. This is actually faster than the Piet on my main account, and I just sped up my Stark to make sure that he bridges, to make sure that the turn meter train works. You guys can check out the Faction Essentials video that I did on Troopers on how to set up their speeds. This is a very fast speed, so just so people are aware, this isn't maybe as fast as like the really top end, like the guys that I'm facing on my main account, but I mean, like I said, my main account Piet is actually slower than this by a few speed, and it is very fast. For KYBER 2, he might, I bet he'd make the top 50 list for sure, if not even faster. For KYBER 2, I bet that he'd make top 10 in KYBER 2. Actually, I don't know how you would check that. It'd be interesting to find out. But he is very fast, so don't be discouraged if you can't get him there. But you want him to be really fast, and then you just run the tables on whatever team you're facing. Like, usually the best thing about troopers is your opponent never takes a turn. Almost never. You usually just annihilate everyone before they can do anything. So, really high banner team, a high efficiency team on offense, and they don't, I don't know, sometimes they can do well on defense. You just need them higher relics for some of them. Like, Range and Stark will just die. They'll just capitulate. They're like, might give up. You're like, dude, you're not Jar Jar. Like, cut that crap out. Okay, next we have Iden Versio, and she does have her Omicron, and so that makes her a little bit tougher. I've been trying to slowly put a little extra gear on these guys, because this isn't enough. Like, people just one-shot the troopers, even though Iden buffs them so much. So the more gear you have on them, obviously, the better. I've been farming Iden. She's at 3 out of 65 right now, so we still got a ways to go. But the Omicron makes this team a lot tougher, and you just need to keep throwing more gear on them. Gosh, it's driving me absolutely crazy, guys. I can't apply any gear right now because I'm saving everything for Jedi Master Kenobi and for Maul. So all of these little red, they're not red, they're green, just in case you guys can't tell the colors, just like me apparently. But all the green pluses are probably just either like stun cuffs or the stun guns, or Carbanti, something like that. So anyways, this team needs work, obviously. Try to get them relicked if you can, but they're good on defense. They're also pretty good on offense. I will probably be taking them on offense here and there, though usually whatever I set at the start of the week is what I end with at the end of the week, because I don't have time to scout, like I said, and adjust my defenses. So we'll just have to see how that all plays out. Next, we have Bounty Hunters, and you can see my Aura Seeing is gear 11, so hooray for that. She's finally gear 11. She is not gear 12. She was gear 10 for a long time. She still works pretty well. Put that Leadership Zeta on for funsies, I suppose, but then the Omicron on Zam makes it so that she doesn't even need gear 13. Gear 13 would be great. She's great because you need her gear 7, or Relic 7 eventually for the Lord Vader comp, but even if you don't manage that, she's really good at gear 12. The reason you would want to put higher relics on her is because she passes so many stats to her friends, and they need it, guys. You can see we have relic 5 on Bosk, relic 1 on Grief, 1 on Mando, and then obviously Aura doesn't even have gear 12 yet. And so Zam is handing out so many good stats, and at Relic 7 she would hand out even more. But this team still kills Darth Revan pretty well, and it takes out a lot of different teams, actually, as long as you have a fast enough Bosk and Grief to take advantage. So my Bosk is 325, which is a very fast Bosk for this level, and he could be faster. He could be 3 speed faster without even trying, just getting him into getting him up to 6E there. But the key to it is having Grief be just a little bit slower than him. 323, that's fine. So the whole team actually hinges on how fast Grief is, not how fast Bosk is, though of course Bosk needs to be faster. So that's the thing. Grief could get another 3 speed himself if I really cared. But then Zam hands them all somewhere around 70, between 70 and 73 speed. And so the whole team goes first, and it kills the whole team. This is the team I'll probably end up leaning on a lot if people start showing up with Star Killers that aren't modded with a super duper fast Mara Jade. Like my Mara Jade on my main account is 365 speed base, which makes her what, like 300 or 430 something speed on after Star Killer's unique. But if they're not that fast, then Bosk and Grief have a decent chance of outrunning their Mara Jade, and therefore being able to end them. This team also kills, like I said, Darth Revan teams, any Darth Revan team, even Relic 8 Darth Revan teams, as long as I'm fast enough, which I am, because I put the right speeds on to Grief. So those sleep on this team, guys. Very, very good. Put more relics on him than I have, though. Alright, we have Bando here, and I don't want to waste Nest on this team, because Nest is still too valuable for offense, so I have Bando with Boba Fett, because I don't have a great use for him anyways, and he just uses Scoundrel's IG-88, because he does some annoying things as well. And then, of course, Kuiil and IG do some good stuff. You want Kuiil to be kind of fast. I've been trying to boost his speed more and more. He's at 340 speed now, which is that's probably as fast as I'm going to leave him. Would love to get him more relics, but I just don't have enough relic materials. I just finished the farm for Jedi Master Kenobi. I'm out of signal data, so would love to get Kuiil and IG up a little bit more, but you just want your Bando to be a little bit slower than Kuiil. A lot slower is fine. Just max him out on offense if you can, and then have everyone else be slower than Bando. So then Kuiil will go, give everyone a bunch of turn meter so that everyone gets the next turn. Bando goes next, he goes into poop stance, everyone does their AoEs, and then Bando eventually gets his whistling birds and ends someone. This team gets a ton of holds on defense at this level, and I will just love, my one regret is that I have but 0 relic mats to give this poor enterprising young fellow. Relic 8 would be wonderful for him, especially because of his ship in fleets, because that's where ships go. So, Mon Mothma team, I like this team on offense and on defense. The same with the Bando team. They both do some good work. I like Mon Mothma on offense because you can control who you're killing, and on defense, with this kind of gear level, it's kind of a liability. But you want the turn meter train team, guys. The Mon Mothma team with Wedge and Biggs variants should probably just not be a thing ever for you if you can avoid it. I mean, if that's the team you have, then that's fine. Place them on defense, do whatever. Like it's Mon Mothma's fine. I actually have been giving thought to using her with Admiral Akbar, actually, because I have his Omicron. But this team works pretty well. You just want someone fast. I'm working on Kyle Katarn right now. He will eventually replace Bistan for the most part on this team, or he'll replace Cara Dune. I haven't decided yet, because Cara has a few cool, compelling places to go. But this team finishes off, like, the other day I had to kill a lone Rey, and they'll do that. Even at gear 12, they do pretty well. So I don't know, they're in a kind of weird place right now, because it's hard to justify giving them a lot of gear, because none of them are requirement characters, though I do need to get Bistan as much gear as possible, so that because I need to get the Rebel fleet up more and more. So, yeah, this team, it does well. It's very efficient on offense. And on defense, if your opponent's dumb, then you can get a ton of holds. Wampa with the Omicron, guys. I don't have him well modded, actually. Here's the thing. I don't plan on using him against many Iden Versio teams, or if I do, it'll be against teams that aren't super high relic, at least in KYBER 2. So I just put him mostly with health, honestly. the best way to do it, if you're worried about debuffs, is put a lot of tenacity on him. Stack tenacity. He starts with 150% tenacity, which actually isn't that much, but as long as you're not going to get stunned on your first turn, then you're probably just good, because you're going to gain so much turn meter based off of all your other hits that are happening. So lots of health on a Wampa that's not planning on killing heavy duty Iden Versio teams is probably the best way to go, folks, because he has such high stacking offense. You don't want to put offense on him. Just put, you could put maybe some potency or something if you wanted to. Mostly, though, health, guys. Health on Wampa, unless you need to fight hardcore a-holes the way my main account does, in which case you need all the tenacity you can get. Next, we have Darth Revan. I like to make this account's Darth Revan ridiculously fast, ludicrous speed, 355 speed, and what I should do probably is work on my Darth Talon so that I get another 20 speed. But I do like to keep the Sith Empire bonus, which is in his leadership. They get an extra 50% crit damage, which is not negligible, negligible amount. The one thing that's holding this team back, guys, is relics. I would love to get them up to relic 5 or something like that. And because they outspeed so many cool things right now, and then if I put Darth Talon here instead of stupid HK, I would outspeed even a lot of my opponents, like General Skywalker teams, because most people don't make their Rexes as fast as they need to be. And if my Darth Revan team went first and had decent relics, I would kill most General Skywalker teams that tried to mess with me. So that's a project that I need to work on, is Darth Talon, just like all the other projects, the millions and billions of other projects I have. Next, we have Emperor Palpatine with Mara Jade. I have started double farming Mara Jade. I really want to get her to relics. I really want Star Killer on this account, though I haven't decided if I'm going to try for that yet, or I'm going to wait for a year. We're gonna have to do a video on that at some point once I've decided. But Relic 0 on Grand Admiral Thrawn, Darth Vader. This team will take out, they'll take out Geos, they'll take out a lot of things. They actually recently almost one-shot a poorly modded Rey team. I just put what was he, like TIE Fighter pilot? I did a video on that a couple days ago. You guys can check that out. But this squad, you don't want to sleep on. It's on offense almost always, and Darth Revan is almost always on defense, by the way, folks. But Emperor Palpatine and company, this team, Mara Jade makes this team go completely nuts, guys. You really want to use Mara Jade here. Really good stuff. We have Darth Traya. I put her on defense because I run out of teams on defense. Honestly, on offense, this isn't going to be a highly efficient team anyways. Throw Darth Talon on there. She's not a very inspired choice, frankly, guys. We could put Sith Empire Trooper here as well, I suppose. I don't know. I need to work on this team some, but I need to work on a lot of teams a lot. And on defense, this team will steal banners or force someone to panic, and every once in a while it gets a hold. Because, frankly, at the end of the day, this team is really well situated to stop people. There's a lot of teams here that are going to struggle against this, and if you can't deal with this squad, there's not a lot of recourse. If you can't beat it, then you can't beat it. So she does a good job of limiting the number of teams that can beat it, at least. Alright, we've got this crew team with First Order, and the thing that I like most about it is that Hux keeps, you want that Zeta on him, and then you want everyone to be First Order, or his Zeta, it just turns off. But he stops everyone from gaining turn meter, so it's good on offense and defense. If you're taking it on offense, you're not going to get max banners, usually. And honestly, it would be way better if you had First Order Stormtrooper worked up. I just don't. And he takes like 400 Carbanti. So First Order Officer gets his time in the sun. I think this is the team that I'm going to be working on next, the next Galactic Legend. So keep your eyes peeled for their improvements. I really want to get Hux up to gear 12 so that I can make his ship faster, because I have him at 7 stars now, or finalizer at 7 stars. But yeah, this team does well enough, at least, guys. So crew lead is significantly better than any of the other First Order leads, in my opinion, though Hux can surprise some people, and you do a lot of damage with them, at least. You can also, sometimes, if you use Hux lead, you can actually take down Mon Mothma teams, because you stop that turn meter train dead in its tracks with Hux, and then you're just able to take them out. It's not as simple as that, really, but it can work against Mon Mothma. Alright, my mother tells in squad with my sisters. Remember, you probably want Daka, even a couple higher relics, like Relic 5 or something like that, but the really important thing is you get her health as high as you can. 125 would probably be my goal, but you know, at Relic 3, there's only so much you can do. You don't need speed on it. You can take out Grievous teams, you can take out Geo teams, and the whole team just ramps up their damage. Well, at least Asajj and Oldaka, and then you just leave everyone else at low gear so that they're butchered over and over and over again, and Oldaka and Asajj receive all the rewards from it. We have Geonosians here next, and they go on defense because I don't want to play them, and they're not well modded, but they are good on offense. In fact, they just don't, they're hard to get max banners with, that's all. They do okay though. On defense, they usually just get killed. Let's just face it. At this level, most people just kill them. they get killed. Okay, Kira and Nest. This is the age-old team. I need to get her more relics. I say that a lot, though. Kira gives the boost from her leadership and then dies promptly. Peace out, Kira. And then Enfys goes and does Enfys things. Sometimes you want to have Wat here. Sometimes you don't get to use Enfys Nest because people are starting to put tough enough defenses down. Though, usually if they put enough Galactic Legends down, they have to, in order to have a decent offense, place a bunch of weak teams that Enfys Nest can get a 68 or a 65 on. So that's exciting. Alright, we've got Ewoks. I put the Omicron on Chirpa. That means that the whole team is a little bit faster. And then I just don't have the time or resources to, I don't know, especially resources to get this team moving the way they should. They need, with the Omicron, they need gear 12 at least. They just don't do enough damage, guys. They're probably good on, they're okay on defense. They're okay on offense. They take forever to kill something. And if someone tries to kill them, I mean, they're so low gear level. Like the Ewoks may very well get the jump on you because Paploo is sneaky fast. Read his kit, folks. He gets extra speed, so put extra speed mods on him. Hint, hint. Especially with Chirpa, calculate his unique first, and then Chirpa's leadership on top of that, just in order of operations. But this team does okay. It would do a lot more okay. It would be a lot better if it was more gear. Like, you just need the gear to do extra damage is basically what it is, guys. You need it, and to be more resilient, and I just don't have it, so it's almost a wasted Omicron, I feel like, but you know. All right, we do have Akbar with these awesome characters here: Princess Leia, Captain Han, Chopper. This team is a lot of fun, actually. They do a lot of cool stuff. They kill a lot of things that maybe they quote unquote shouldn't. Really need to get Akbar more gear so that he can be a better fleet pilot and everything. We're working on that, but yeah, I don't have the Omicron on Princess Leia yet. That's gonna come eventually, I think, but for now we'll hold off. And Chopper's here just because he has a non-attack move, which means that he calls people to assist. Captain Han is nice because he has non-attack moves as well. And then Rolo does a lot more damage than most people think she should. And of course, Princess Leia, she's not called Machine Gun Leia for nothing. She's also not called Machine Gun Layer. Okay, so we're trying to get out of here at a reasonable time, guys. So we've got we've got Padmé here with the supports for Galactic Republic, and then a random tank for fun. For like, Plo is good at dispelling on basic. Moff Gideon does his move. He reduces everyone's turn meter except for Padmé, and her team can't have their turn meter reduced. So he also gives supports of any type, from any team, 100% protection up, which she converts into courage, which she then the whole team just kills. So Ayla is actually support, and so is R2-D2. So you start one-shotting people with like 30 stacks of courage. It's pretty entertaining, actually. Then we have this Bo-Katan team with Jango and everyone. It's not a very good team, frankly. It can get some holds here and there if people want to use garbage on it. Jango can surprise some people, but once I get Mando, he's going to show up. He's going to be here, and then I'll probably take out Sabine, is my guess, and then work up armor to go with the team for now. That's probably what I'll end up doing. And then finally, we just have a garbage Build-A-Bear team with Dengar making it, providing a decent leadership, Zalbar providing an okay tank, and then TIE Fighter Pilot being an okay damage dealer. This squad is not one that I plan on using too often, but we do use Build-A-Bear quite a bit these days, and it's a good squad. So anyways, guys, what squads do you want to use? What squads are you looking forward to use? I'm going to call it good. Thank you all so much for watching, and remember that in all things, Zereth prevails. Let's see it.